starting from the very basic content. So first of all, when we are talking about a programming language, and we are talking about language, first of all, not even programming language. So language is basically a medium of communication through which people can communicate. And when we are talking about a computer system, which language does a computer understands? A computer understands a machine language, that is the binary code, 0 and 1. So there are different translators, or we can say the system softwares, the translators like compiler, interpreter. These softwares are basically used for the translation purposes of the language. So when we are talking about computer languages, so we can just divide the we can classify the programming languages into the basic three categories. There are different kind of classifications, but when we are talking about basic classification, we can classify a language on the basis of technology in three different categories. That is low level language, middle level language, and the high level language. So when we are talking about low level languages, all the languages which are kept into the low level language are very much machine dependent, like machine language and assembly language. So machine language and assembly language are kept into the low level language category, and they are very machine dependent. Like if you are having, suppose you are having system, like you are having Windows 10 64-bit operating system. So you are having Windows 10 and 64-bit operating system, and I am having Windows 8 and 64-bit operating system. So if I am working on a program of machine like machine learning programs are not even coded. They are basically, the concept of switches were there, and with the help of switches, the switch was like as you use the switch for like turning on your fan. So when you just press on, that is means you are giving one, that is binary one, that is on signal, means the true value. And if you are off, you are making the switch off, that means off means false value, that is zero. And in the assembly language, when we code, so as I was talking about the system, if I was having Windows 10 Windows 8 64-bit operating system, and you were having Windows 10 64-bit operating system, so if I code a program in my system, it will not run on your system. So this was the basic problem with the machine level like machine language or the low level languages, even the C language. But when we are talking about high level languages, all the languages which are kept into the category of high level languages are following the concept of object oriented programming. So object oriented programming, that is OOPS. So each and every language which is following the concept of object oriented programming is kept into the category of high level language. And like Java, as you have to study Java, so Java is basically a high level programming language, and it follows the concept of OOPS, that is object oriented programming. So now if we make a comparison, like I'm just going to tell about some history, some basic history that is very much important when we talk about any language, that why this particular language has been evaluated, why it is built, basically the motive behind creating this language. So as in 1991, there was a company, Sun Microsystems, and in that company, C++ language was that time being used. And James Gosling was the team leader who was like assigned different projects for different purposes. Projects were assigned to him. So at that time, they got a project of creating microwave. So we can use a pressure cooker also like an oven, or a heat. It is just a heating device. Mud microwave are also there. Like we can use electric microwaves also. I'm sorry, I was talking about oven. We are having electric oven also. We can use pressure cooker also as an oven. So basically, when we are talking about oven, it is just a heating device. We can cook also in that, but it's just about that heat. But when we are talking about microwave, basically it follows the concept of high frequency radio waves, that is microwave. So microwaves are built on the concept of microwaves, that are the radio frequency waves. And when we are talking about microwave, it is an embedded device. Embedded device means it has multiple technology combined into one system. Like there's a we can control the temperature, we can control the heat which we are providing. We are having different modes like convention mode, grill mode, or different functionalities are there. We can set the timer even in the case of microwave device. So basically, this particular project of microwave was given to the company Sun Microsystems in 1991. So when they created that time, they were working using C++ language, and when they created this particular project and delivered to the client, so the client asked James Gosling to deliver 1,000 pieces, and when they started working for the 1,000 pieces, they got to know that as they were working on C++ language, and C++ language was a compiler based language, and it was platform dependent. Means what happened, that they got to know that for different 1,000 devices they have to code again and again for each and every device, because the code for one machine will not work on another. So this was a big problem, like the 4,000 devices they have to code individually. So at that time, they like James Gosling got a thought of creating a new language, and in 1991 they started working on a language named as Java, basically, which we are going to use. So they started for the language Java, and in 1994, basically, this language was released with the name Oak. Oak is basically the coffee tree, and coffee plant actually. So James Gosling was very fond of coffee, so that time they just kept the name as Oak. Further, in 1995, May 1995, this language was renamed to Sun World 95. On the name of company, they just kept the name Sun World 95 in 1995. But further, in 1995 only, the name of this particular language changed to Java. Okay, so when the name changed to Java, and now it is again called Java only today also. The name Java is basically inspired by the coffee plant, and there is an island also named as Java. So basically, this language was created for the electronic devices and the network-based devices, as you know about the Android phones, even which you are using right now. So these phones are also built on Java only. Like Android system, the Android is the operating system, and the applications, most of the applications which are built in Android mobile phones, they are built using Java. Okay, so Java is a very good language, and it is platform independent. Means if like I talked about different operating system, like you are having Windows 10, I am having Windows 8, or somebody is having Linux, or somebody is having Mac OS, iPhone, iPad or something. So what will happen, the code of Java will run on each and every device without any problem. But in the case of different other languages, like old languages, C++, it was not so far possible to run the code of different languages on different devices. Okay, now I am just going to talk about the advantages of Java. So what are the advantages of Java? Like when we are talking about Java, Java is a very simple object-oriented programming language. It is distributed language, portable language. Portable means that, as I talked about, if we want to move the code from one system to another, like you are having a pen drive, you can just copy the code and take it to another system. So it is portability. Now, if we are talking about architectural neutral language, so architectural neutral means the code is not dependent on the machine. As we already discussed, that if we are having different systems, different configurations, so the program of Java will run on any platform. So this particular thing, that the program can run on any platform, is known as architecture neutral. Robust and secure. Robust means the language is like very dependable. We can depend on the language, we can depend on the programs, because it is very secure. There is a concept of multi-threading, and there's different concepts, like multi-threading is a concept in your course, so I will just go through it. It is a complete chapter. The concept of multi-threading means dividing a single program into multiple sub-programs. So the concept of multi-threading is dividing a single program into multiple sub-programs, and those programs can run simultaneously in parallel. So that could increase the CPU speed. So this is also possible in Java. It is interpreted language, means that interpreter, like I talked about, there are three translators, so compiler, interpreter, and assembler. So basically compiler is already used in C++. In Java, compiler and interpreter both are used, and due to this it is called interpreted language, because interpreter is used here. It is a high performance language. Java is mainly developed for object-oriented network-based software for internet applications. So as I told you, the Android phone even which we basically use. We can download any software from any site or Google Play Store or something. So this is possible just because of Java, and as Java is a network based language, so the softwares build the programs, the softwares. Basically, what is a software? Software is a collection of programs. We can combine different programs to create a single software. So the software is created in Java could be downloaded from anywhere on the internet. So it is a network-based system, network-based language, and it provides a level of security. So when we are talking about different devices and we are talking about different applications, different programs in Java. So the Java language is so secure and so dependable that most of the bank applications, like payment gateways, like if you are making some purchase, you are purchasing something from Amazon or Flipkart, or you are doing some banking transaction on your mobile, or even the ATM. So basically what happens, these payment gateways on which you have to enter your payment amount, so that gateway is basically built in Java most of the time, because it is very secure language and it is not easy to crack the code which is written in Java. So there is a concept of bytecode, like the last point written here. Java application bytecode runs on any platform without any modification or recompilation. So basically, Java language has a bytecode, and bytecode is the intermediate code. Like here you can see, it is called that Java is an architectural neutral language. So that means that it could be run on any platform basically. So basically there is a concept of Java virtual machine, JVM. That is Java virtual machine, and Java virtual machine is a concept. Virtual means logical, conceptual. Virtual means which does not exist in reality. So basically Java virtual machine is a concept. Different, it is a combination of different components in our system. When we install Java, internally what happens, there is a mechanism called Java virtual machine, and there basically our code is compiled and interpreted. So when you use the JCreate, the BlueJ software, and you run your code, you first of all compile it. So what happens, we save a file in Java, that is .java extension. Then what happens, we compile it, and when we are compiling, basically internally there is the compiler known as Javac, which works there. And after that the bytecode is generated. It is not visible to us. In your BlueJ it is not visible, but basically it is created internally. And bytecode is the intermediate code basically, which is responsible for making Java the platform independent language. As I told you that the code in Java can be used on any other device. So this feature of Java is just because of this bytecode. So bytecode is the intermediary code, and it is basically responsible for making the Java language platform independent. After that, what happens, this bytecode is taken to the interpreter, and when we run, like first of all you compile the program, then you run the program, and as soon as you run the program, basically this interpreter is working. Then after that our code is converted to the machine code, and it is basically the object code or the machine code. Then the processing is done on the program and we get the output. So this is the basic mechanism which is basically followed internally when we are running our Java program. And this particular thing is basically done in the Java virtual machine, the conceptual logical entity which is available in our system, which is basically available when we install the software like Java. If we are basically installing BlueJ, so it is internally and it works automatically as we run our program.